Let's start class. All right. Thank you so much for joining my class today. We're just going to start with a couple of little stretches, all right? So if you want to sit crisscross applesauce, we're going to do like some sitting cat-cows just to warm up our spine, warm up our abs. So breathing in, we're going to open our chest towards the ceiling, open up. And as we breathe out, we're going to press all of our breath out and round our back as much as possible. Let's do this about 5 times. Breathing in, looking up. Breathing out, rounding in. So I like to keep my hands on my knees. Maybe 2 more times with this. Awesome. Great job. All right, so now what we're going to do is another stretch. Placing one hand to our side, we're going to let it walk out and then bring the other arm up and over, just feeling the side body stretch. Looking up towards the ceiling. And then on the next exhale, go ahead and windmill your hands to the other side. And on the next exhale, come on back to the center. We're going to let our legs out long. All right, so we're actually going to bring our arms out into a T. Legs are out long. We're going to reach the opposite arm to the opposite foot. Breathing in, breathing out, sitting back up, T, and then opposite foot. So we're going to do this about 5 times on both sides. Try not to go super fast. We're trying to activate those abs. Doing a little bit of a twist. So this is number 3. And 4, and 1 more on both sides. This is 5, we just got to do the other side. Here we are. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's bring our feet together. And we're going to come into a boat pose. All right, so you can keep your hands behind you for support, or we can place them behind our knees, whatever you prefer. Bringing our legs up parallel to the ground. Now, if you can't find your balance here, you can always hands behind you, or we can just come up onto our tippy toes, wherever you are today. So what I would like for you to do is if your feet are down here, I want you to draw little circles down here. But if your feet are up, I want you to draw little circles in the air. Maybe let go of your legs. We're doing 5 circles one way, and 5. And then we're going to do 5 circles the other way. This is kind of a challenging move because you got to balance. 4 and 5. All right, so we're going to come and sit up. Feet are together, knees are apart, and we're leaning forward. Bound ankle pose. 2 breaths here. All right, so we're going to come back into that position. This time, we're going to bring our feet hip width apart. And we're going to lay down, but not all the way. We're laying down to the mid-back. Arms down by our sides. Breathing in. We're going to pulse our hands down, and then we're going to breathe out and press that belly button down towards the ground. We're breathing here for 10 times. I was going to say 5, but let's do 10. So every time you breathe out of your mouth, pulsing your hands down. We're really working these abs here. Maybe 4 more breaths. And on the next exhale, just release your head, neck, and shoulders all the way down. Great job. We're gonna pull our knees in and just hug ourselves for a moment. Whew, that was some hard work. All right, so let's go ahead and bring our feet back down to the ground. Oh, give me a second. Feet are hip width apart. We're going to do our bridges. Okay, so we're going to do 5 bridges. Breathing in, make sure your head is looking straight up at the ceiling. We don't want to compromise that neck. Hands are down by our sides. As you breathe out, roll your hips off of the ground, up, up, up. So I want you to lower and lift 5 times. So that was 1, this is 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 more. All right, so on the 5th one, we're just gonna hold this position for, let's say, 5 breaths. And while we're here, I just want you to activate your core, activate your buns. One more breath here. And on the next exhale, we can lower those hips all the way down. Great job. All right, so what we're gonna do is draw in one leg, and we're gonna let the other leg out long. And we're just going to like bicycle our legs, but keep one leg long. So we'll switch. So that's half a 1, and this is a 1. And we're doing this 5 times on each side. So 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. All right, so we're gonna do it on the other side. There we go. All right, so pull both knees in. All right. So now let's go ahead and reach our feet up towards the ceiling. We're going to reach for our feet or ankles. So we'll bring up our head, neck, and shoulders, just reaching 5 times. Breathing in, breathing out, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so keep your head, neck, and shoulders down, hands down by your sides. We're going to lower our legs while we cross them. So we're crossing 1, 2, 3, and then as you exhale, we're going to lift. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this 5 times. Lower, exhale, lift. All right, so as we lower, we're inhaling, and as we lift, we're exhaling. So that was number 3, and this is 4. 1 more, and 5. All the way back up. All right, awesome. So now let's cross our ankles, and we're going to do our corkscrew. So we're going to draw a really big circle with our feet. Breathing in as we're going down, breathing out as we're going up. So that was 1, 2, 3. We're trying to do 5, 4, and 5. All right, let's switch ankles. We're going to go towards the other side. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2. Try to keep these hips as anchored as possible. Mine are rolling all over the place, so that's not a good example. So that was 4, 1 more, and 5. All right, let's go ahead and bend our knees and just relax here for a moment. Great job. All right, so we're going to lift our legs up again. I just wanted you to have a little break. And what we're going to do is we're going to lower our legs straight, and then we're going to lift them. All right, so as we lower them, we're breathing in. And as we lift them, we're breathing out. We're doing this 5 times. That was 1. Try to keep your low back on the ground. 3, 4. This one's really challenging. And 5. All right, let's go ahead and lower those legs. Whew. Great job. All right, So feet are hip width apart, knees might be together. We're going to place our head in our hands. We're going to press our head into our hands while our hands are pressed into our head. So breathing in, we're going to breathe out and lift our head, neck, and shoulders and rock to the front 3 times. 1, 2, 3. We're going to come to center, lift a little more, and lower. So we're doing each side 3 times. Breathing in, breathing out, lift, 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 rock to the back. 1, 2, 3. Lift in the center and lower. 2 more times. Breathing in, breathing out, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, rock to the front. 2, 3. Center, lift, and lower. Breathing in, breathing out, rock to the back. 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower. All right, we got one more round. Breathing in, breathing out, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, rock to the front. 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower. All right, one more time. Breathing in, breathing out, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, rock to the back. 1, 2, 3. Lift and lower. Whew, I'm feeling my abs now. All right, so we're going to let our legs out long. We're going to lift our arms over our head. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to lift our arms, and once they are over our shoulders, we're going to lift our head, neck, and shoulders and sit all the way up, reaching for our toes. So we're going to do this 5 times. Now, I just want you to do this as many times as you can. I know that it's difficult. If you can do it 1 or 2 times, that's great, but we're going to end up sitting up, okay? So that was 1, 2. We want to try to do it a little slowly so we can really feel those abs. 3, 4, 1 more, 5. Good job. Great work. All right. So from here, I would like for you to do your T's, your arms with the T, and we're going to reach the opposite foot. So it's just like whenever we had wide legs, but this is straight legs. We're going to look at the arm behind us. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's sit back up. We're going to switch sides. So we're doing this 5 times. Good job, everybody. This is number 2, 3, and 4. And one more round. 5. All right, sitting up. Great job. Let's come onto our hands and knees. All right, so wrists are directly under your shoulders, knees are directly under your hips. We're going to actually bring one hand to one shoulder, like a chicken wing. And then we're going to try to reach this elbow towards our hip. And we're just going to do this 5 times. So that was 1, this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so keep that arm up. We're going to bring it all the way out. And then we're going to reach between our arm and leg and touch our opposite rib. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, bring that arm down. Let's do it to the opposite side. One hand on your shoulder. We're going to reach that elbow towards that hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now bring it all the way out to almost a T. We're reaching in between and touching the opposite ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, great job. Let's just sit back into a child's pose and really stretch out our shoulders. All right, and then now we're gonna sit back up into tabletop. We're gonna let one leg out long, making sure our wrists are under our shoulders. And then we're going to bring the other leg out long into a plank position. If this is too hard, you can always bring your knees down, but try to have your hips and abs in a straight line. So I want you to hold it here for 3 breaths. So maybe one more breath. And then on the next exhale, we can lower all the way down. Great job. We're going to bring our arms out in front of us. And we're going to go for a swim. So breathing in, bringing one arm up in the opposite leg. We're going to breathe out and switch. Breathing in, breathing out, switch. We're trying to do it 5 times on each side. So that's a total of 10 times. So I think I'm on number 4 and 5. So on the other side. All right, go ahead and fold your hands in front of you and relax your head. You did really good work. All right, so now what we're going to try to do is keep our feet together. Well, no, not don't have your feet together. Have your feet like hip width apart, and we're going to try to raise both feet together. Just like that. So this is really going to work your low back. So this is 3, 4, and one more, 5. Whew, awesome. All right, so now we're going to bend our knees and bring our big toes together. I want you to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. Lift those legs. We're going to cross them. 1, 2, 3. Tap your big toes together. Lift up a little more and lower. We're going to do this 2 more times because this is a lot of work. Breathing in, breathing out, lifting, cross, 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 big toes together, lift a little higher, and lower. One more time, breathing in, breathe out, lift, cross, 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 big toes together, lift a little higher, and lower. Great job. All right, so we're going to keep those knees bent, and what I would like for you to do, if you can, you don't have to, is reach around with the same side arm. All right, and with the foot that you're not holding, go ahead and let that leg all the way down. We're going to breathe in. So I am on my elbow on the other arm. Breathe in, we're going to breathe out, and I'm pressing my hand, my ankle into my hand. And this is just going to open my shoulders, it's going to activate my thighs. One more breath here. And then we're going to lower. Let's do it to the other side, all right? So bending that knee, reaching around with the same side arm. Other hand is down on its elbow for support. Breathing in, breathing out. We're pressing that ankle into your hand, opening your chest towards the wall. And then we're going to release that leg and lower. All right, so I want you to bring both elbows down. Hands are flat on the ground. We're going to roll the shoulder blades down our back and open our chest up forward. 3 breaths here. And on the next exhale, go ahead and lower your head all the way down. All right. So I want you to look at the ground. My head is off the ground. My hands are right under my shoulders. And I want you to lift your chest up and have your hands hover on the ground so they're not touching. And I'm looking up, and then I'm going to lower. So I'm going to do this 5 times where we're just lifting our chest, looking up and lower. So we're breathing out as we look up, and we breathe in as we lower. So let's do this 2 more times. Breathing out and breathing in. All right, great job. So keep those hands under your shoulders. We're going to tuck those toes, and we're going to come back up into our plank, like a push-up. So try to keep as straight a body as possible. We're holding it here for 2 more breaths, looking straight at the ground. And on the next exhale, go ahead and bring your knees down. We're going to sit back into a child's pose and relax. All right, on the next exhale, I want you to come up onto your knees. And we're going to do our hip rounds. So if you need to get a drink of water, now's a good time to do it. I'll wait for a second. After we do our hip rounds, then we're going to stretch it out. Okay? All right. So my hips are lifted up off my heels, my toes are tucked. I'm going to place my hands on my hips, and what we're going to do is press our hips back, and then we're going to go all the way around. So hip rounds, right? And let's see how low our hips can go in the back. So this is 2. We're doing it 5 times to one side, 5 times to the other side. 4 and 5. All right, so hips are back. We're going to go towards the other way. Breathing in and breathing out. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, awesome. So what I would like for you to do, if you can, place your hands on the back of your hips. We're going to roll those shoulder blades down our back and look up, kind of pressing into our hips, opening our chest up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And then let's go ahead and sit back. Whew. Great job. All right. So my legs are crisscross, or you can have them out straight, whatever you prefer. We're just going to do a forward fold. Breathing in, arms go up. Breathing out, placing hands in front of you. Relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders, and just releasing into the stretch. And on the next exhale, go ahead and sit all the way back up. Awesome. So now I'm going to sit up, knees are pointed up. We're just going to hold onto our knees, and we're going to do like the same cat-cow type of thing. So breathing in, opening chest up towards the ceiling, holding onto my knees, breathing out, rounding. Let's do this about 5 times. Breathing in, looking up, breathing out, rounding. Then this is number 4 and number 5. All right, we're going to lay all the way back down again. Whew. Great job. And what I would like for you to do is we're going to go into a bridge pose again, but we're doing it all for the stretch, not for the strength. But you do need to have strength for this. So hands down by your sides. I want you to look straight up at the ceiling. We're going to have our feet hip width apart. Breathing in, breathing out, we're going to roll our hips off of the ground. Now, we can stay here, or we can clasp our hands under our seat and roll on roll our upper arms to the outside of the arms. Or you can reach for those ankles and grab the ankles. So I have to walk in a little bit for that. Breathing in, breathing out, just pressing your hips up as high as possible. We're going to hold it here for 2 more breaths. And on the next exhale, release your hands and roll your hips all the way down. Great job. All right, so place your feet on the edges of the mat. What we're going to do is we're going to release our knees to one side. So one knee is going to fall on the inside and the other knee is going to fall on the outside. So we're trying to keep our hips somewhat on the ground. So we can have our arms out into a T, or you can always place one hand on your knee and hip, whatever you prefer. Just stretching it out. Couple more breaths here, just releasing and relaxing. Y'all did great work today. And on the next exhale, go ahead and release your knees if your hands are on them. Lift your knees up, and then we're going to let them fall towards the other side. So maybe one hand on your hip, reminding it that it should go somewhat towards the ground, and the other hand on your knee. Or hands out to a T, whatever you prefer. Couple more breaths here. And on the next exhale, go ahead and lift those knees up. I'm going to check and see what time it is. Stay right where you are. Awesome. All right. So what I would like for you to do is we're going to pull our knees in. We're going to let one leg out long. So one knee is pulled in, one leg's out long. And we're just going to pull this knee towards the same side shoulder. One more breath here. And on the next exhale, let's go ahead and switch sides. So we're switching knees. Breathing in, breathing out, pulling that knee down towards the same side shoulder. This is just great for the low back and the hips, which we did work. All right, go ahead and release your leg and legs out long. We're going to cross one ankle, or we're going to cross our ankles. We're going to lift our arms up high. We're going to grab one wrist, and then we're going to pull both ankles and wrists to one side, making a banana shape. And just stretching that side body. Couple of breaths here. All right, on the next exhale, come back to center. Let's switch ankles, switch wrists, breathing in, breathing out, pulling our ankles and wrists towards the other side. And on the next exhale, come back to center. And we're going to sit all the way up. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me in your Pilates practice. I hope you had a great time, and namaste.